Today I got a super short and simple video for you guys. I came up with a couple new designs and we're gonna test print these real quick. We got a dog print with some text, and the text is gonna be puff print. That'll be real fun. I'm not 100% sure what the mesh on this screen is, but it's probably somewhere around 110. And we also got this halftone over here too. I'm not 100% sure how the halftone is gonna come out. It had a lot of very fine details, and some of it didn't come out that great, so we might have to reburn that screen, recode it, and do that all over again. But it's all part of the game. That's just how it is around here. You always want to mix your white ink thoroughly. This puff has 30% puff additive into it. I'm using the FN puff additive for this. I got pretty good results with 30%. I've heard some people using more, but this is what I already have mixed, so I'm gonna use this. I might try the dog print first. I think that's what I'm gonna go for. I'm also aware that I printed the positive and I'm gonna print white ink through it. So I'm okay with that. So I'll just have a positive on white, so it'll look like a negative. It'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and give the dog a go, see how that comes out. Oh, look at how smooth that ink is. Actually, I'm gonna pull, because I've been wanting to learn how to pull, but the problem is that I don't have any counterweight on the back of this press, so when I pull, I move the whole press around. Yeah, see, I'm gonna topple it if I can't pull that hard, and plus I don't get a good clear on it. Yeah, like see, I started to push there and it actually did go through, and down here it doesn't go through all the way. So I'm just gonna flood it one more time and give it one push. Fuck it, I know it's gonna come out doubled, but okay, mostly everything cleared. That is a nice dog. There is quite a bit of fibrillation happening, but nothing that a second coat won't fix. And there is also a double imaging because I pulled at first, but not much I can do about that. Now I've got it mostly cured, I'm gonna give it one more pass and see how that comes out. That was a nice clear. Now that looks very nice and opaque. Looks like a brand new t-shirt. That's what it looks like. Just cure it again. Run the puff ink afterwards. Okay, now that is dry to the touch. For the most part, I don't think there's anything that's wet still. So now I'm just gonna run this text. That looks perfectly placed. I think maybe it could go down a little bit more, or the dog could come up a little bit more, but that's as low as it's gonna go. And I don't mind it that much. I think it's still like blended with the dog. So let's give this a go. For this one, I might pull because it might come out better, but nah, I'm just gonna push because I'm not brave enough. I'm gonna give it 2 floods without really curing it that much. Nice. There is a little bit of double passing happening on this side. It's probably because this screen doesn't have a huge amount of tension on it. Probably should have burned it into a higher tension screen, but this is now gonna puff up. Let's take a closer look at it.
did come out quite nice. The only thing is that there was quite a bit of fibrillation that happened. This is very nice and puffed. I do like that a lot. Take a closer look at it. I think one of the big things I need the most is more consistent heat, because some of these parts like cured and started to puff up, and then I overheated it and it like fell down. But I think it's nice. It feels nice, and plus there's a bunch of fibrillation going on. You can see it if I can actually. Yeah, you can see all of those little black fibers that were lifted up by the ink. So I think I do need to do a print flash print and not fully cure the ink before I print it the second time. So that way it can look more like this here.
But one of the big problems I'm going to encounter is that I use a heat press to cure my t-shirts to make sure that the ink's like properly on there. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but we'll figure it out. We've got a new t-shirt loaded up, and we're going to give this text a go. I'm going to use this big squeegee for this. Yeah, let's just give this halftone a go. This is probably the finest halftone I've ever done, so I don't know how this is going to come out. I did, let's see, what did I do? I used a 220 mesh for this. What else? Let's see how this is coming out. This looks pretty good. I do like how it's coming out. I need to put more pressure on this side and really clear that ink, and put more pressure on this side too, because some of it isn't coming out. But let's give it one more pass. Push, I should say. There we go, that cleared on that side. And there we go, that cleared everything. It is missing a ton of details, specifically around down here. There's no halftoning going on, but I think it looks pretty good for my first attempt at this. This corner isn't clearing at all. It's still in there fully, so it might be an emulsion problem right there. See what that did. Didn't do much, but I like how that comes out. It's not super crisp on the sides because of the screen. The screen's kind of fucked anyways. There's emulsion clogging, and some of these you can see there's emulsion up here clogging the whole thing, and it comes down through this R and it's down there. It's a mess, but my camera's about to die. I'm gonna mess around with this a little bit more, tweak it a bit more, and we'll be back, and you won't even notice that I was gone. I decided to go with a smaller print on the chest. It's also a puff print. You can see it from the side that it's puffed up. Very nice. And here's the back. I printed one long sleeve for right now. These will be dropping on April 14th. All of the ones you're gonna see right now. But I did a bunch of new test runs to see how these come out. I figured out that if I run them under the heat press without clamping the heat press all the way down, they do cure fully, and they cure a little bit better than they would with just a heat gun. First I puff it up with heat gun, and then I run it under the heat press. I know I have some video of that. But most of these come out really good, and they have like nice stretch to them. It does crack after a while, of course, and if you run it through the dryer it would crack, but for the most part the puff is very solid on these. There it is. I like them a lot. There's a lot of flash print going on, so if I forget to flash at any point, bad stuff happens. Like with this one only has one layer of puff, and the dog stuck to it. So the dog, when I pushed the squeegee, the dog stuck to the actual screen, so when I pulled the screen up, it just went all over the place. But I figured out the formula to getting a decent puff print. 3 passes without curing it, So I just flooded the screen, cleared it 3 times onto this print. Then I cured it till it's dry to the touch without puffing it. And then I gave it a 4th pass. So all of these have 4 passes of puff ink, and that gave me that nice raised effect that's quite high. If you do want to pick one of these up, make sure you go follow the Instagram at nvr.enough3, and the link to the website is in my bio. These are dropping on April 14th. Feel free to pick one up. The t-shirts are going to be $30 and the long sleeves are going to be $45, so make sure you pick one up.